The Gilded Age in the Berkshires reveals a lot about America and Americans. The story that I will tell takes place in a sort of neocon paradise. The government is decidedly laissez-faire. There is no income tax. And antitrust legislation is a progressive dream not to be realized until the country is shattered by a series of events which brings the Gilded Age to a crashing halt. It is a story of extravagance and ostentation. There are greedy characters and geniuses, benefactors of humanity, visiting presidents, and the movers and shakers of the world. After the Civil War, there was a new America awakening. Everywhere it is apparent. And it was noticed by Mark Twain, who coined the phrase Gilded Age and sadly remarked upon its inherent shallowness. The town of Lenox was particularly hard hit by its excesses. When the charming, bucolic, intellectual Brahmin-based town of Lenox turned into a showplace for the newly minted wealth of the robber barons, mostly from New York, there was a startling change in the local scene. Now there are not delightful dances at Sergeant Hall, games of charades, and readings of Humboldt. No, everything revolves around greater endeavors, the creation of an American aristocracy. All the activity of the town, from the unloading of private carriages at the rail station to the postmaster receiving significant and important mail, to the girls who clean the fireplaces, to the boys who take care of the homes, to the builders of the mansions and the gatehouses, and those who attended the hundreds of acres of land. It was all for the continuation of the lifestyle of the rich and famous who lived there for a few weeks every year. When Mr. Choate of Nome Keg met with Mr. Morgan at Danforth, who socialized with Andrew Carnegie at Shadowbrook, they may have spoken of the formation of U.S. Steel, but only among themselves without boring the ladies. And when the First World War had ended, why shouldn't the peace treaty be planned at the lovely estate called Elm Court, with the Lord Neville Chamberlain, Winston Churchill, an honorable ambassador and husband of Emily Vanderbilt, Mr. White in attendance, and Mr. Kennedy, by this time considered demented and insignificant, remembering his dream when he connected The Hague as a center of world peace. Why shouldn't his last words be, why has that terrible war ended yet? And when the stock market crashed 10 years later in 1929, why shouldn't the rich suffer with the poor and lose great fortunes as their mansions, impossible to sell, fall to ruin and disappear?